You see, this is the situation you got right now. That is the situation you got today. You knew how that came. Not to say that I know exactly when it came. I really don't. Nor do I care. As a bullish macro, I like to keep everything simple. I like to mark everything out. I like to keep everything visualized. So, let me zoom out. Say it's 4 hour, gets 1 hour. Either one you can pick for bias. What do you see here? Cool. What do you see here? Cool. Now, I like to have different colors for different time frames just so I can have specifics. This is a break that I was interested in. This was also a break that I was interested in. Now, this does not mean this is precisely where this is going to retest. I'm just simply stating this is exactly what price is showing. So, price impulsed up, played around, indication, correction, continuation. Like I said. So, once you get that, what do you now have? You now have your correction, your continuation. Now you have another indication. What does that mean you need to see? A correction. And what does that tell you? High, low, high. Somewhere down here is going to be the next low that is going to want to try to tap. Now, it could play around right here in these areas like it has done so many times before to psych people out. But this is the general zone I want to see tapped. Whether I have confirmation here or not will determine my next move. Now, if I see an impulse here and then I don't see price break down here, not one single bet, and I see it start to immediately try to push up, I'm going to be a little skeptical, of course. But if you get a sweep and then you get the 5-minute change of character along with an indication and that first correction, if that first correction respects fully this area and whatever high it chose to create, guess what? You're in the money. So, that's simple. That's all I look for, and that goes for literally every trade, but, you know, really every trade. So, right now, we start in that correction on a 2-hour, 30-minute, 10-minute, blah, blah, blah. Now, I like to be extra detailed because that's how you get precise type numbers. That's how you get precise type results when you are extra detailed. You notice everything in the market. So, one thing I am noticing in the market is that we had our, shootout, and we had our indication, which is right here. Now we're starting to fall. This is our first break, which is our first indication that shows, okay, price wants to come down. Now, you might say, okay, well, how far is it going to come down? How do you know it's going to come down? And blah, 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 blah. Now, what I said earlier was from the macro. Macro is far more important than the internal time frames anyways. So unless I see something humongously major on this time frame, there's nothing that's going to change my mind from what I've already seen on a higher time frame, which is this essentially is the zone that I want to see tapped into. I don't care how deep it has to get tapped. Now, you come back up here, what do you see? You got your indication, correction. This is an indication on the internal level. I don't know if y'all noticed that. This is also a fair value gap. This tapped into the fair value gap. Just because this tapped into the fair value gap and shot up, most people would have took that as an opportunity to try to go higher. Because
people like to use lower time frames to do dumb things and justify stupid,
criteria. But this impulse came and busted through this fair value gap, right? Which shows me bears are stronger right now, regardless, which I knew that already. So now you want to see a retest. If you want to enter, that's what you want to see. I'm sorry, a retest or correction. And honestly, you could take that from the, correction to probably here or even here. But I don't count a trend trade, so that's just for the people who like to catch everything. Now me, I would be waiting until price specifically got down here in this area, and I would be targeting this area. Now the thing about
this, for the people who decide they wanted to come and be funny.
What if gold reverses on you? Everything can reverse on you. I don't think you noticed that. But
a real trader, and you notice gold has, it's very rare, gold has done major reverses in the past couple years. So that's fear talking, and I don't operate in the spirit of fear. Simple. So whenever price does want to try to, drop, guess what? It'll tell you, because just like back here when it did decide it wanted to drop, indication, correction, what happened? You didn't get a continuation back to the upside. You got your impulse. Then what did you start to get? Your impulse. Now you know, if you was here, you would have been, okay, I gotta wait for a retest for it to continue past this indication, right? Waiting would have brought you back here. That's why I say patience is good. Waiting would have brought you right back here. And you would have seen this impulse past that zone, which would have showed you, okay, motherfucker, this shit wants to go down.
So, strictly for vibes.
This right here would have been your move that you would have wanted to take, right? And let me see if I can rewind it to just make it more visual for you guys. Because like I said, it's very simple. It's very simple. You got your indication, your highs. You got your corrections coming in your lows. Your lows, your lower highs. That is a lower high area. Right or wrong. This is a next order block. Right or wrong. This is a fair value gap in this area as well. Right or wrong. Okay. So, if you see that and you say, okay, well, where does price want to go? Some people would try to
take price all the way the fuck down here.
Because you know why? They don't know how to just be content with the blessings God has already gave them. You have provisions right in front of you. Why are you going all the way over there to Babylon? Your provisions are right here. That is the new indication right here. And what does that mean for you? That means if you wanted to take an aggressive entry, you come over here somewhere. I know some people who take wilder entries than this, but this is just for example reasons. If it even... Yeah, see? Someone like me who perfect type of entries, I most likely wouldn't have took this because, again, it didn't, perfectly tap where I specifically wanted it to. But in a sense of what it looks like on the lower chart. Yep, didn't tap where I wanted to tap. So, but on 30 minutes, you can also analyze on your highs, your lows, your lower highs. This is still technically your zone of your lower high. Alright, so for people who like to enter off fair value gaps, this is what you would have got. I mean, you could more than likely enter, but it wouldn't have been the cleanest sweep. It wouldn't have been something I would have considered because instead of entering there at the premiums, you would have entered somewhere in the middle. I don't really like entering in the middle, but either way it goes, it would have been alright. It would have worked out regardless. So that's pretty much it. And it works for literally everything, bro. Literally everything, bro. I literally trade everything with this. Everything. I trade everything with this. Like, it's just price action, bro. It doesn't take much. Like, I've been trading 5 years. I done paid for so many bullshit courses. I done lost so much money for dumb stuff. Like, literally all it takes is the will and the want to actually trade. Like, to actually learn, it just takes you to actually want that. It takes you to actually need that. Like, that is how you will be consistent. That is how you will get this done. That is how you will be, a millionaire. That is how you will become wealthy. Like, and it doesn't even matter if it's just trading, bro. It applies to everything.